Yo, everyday superpower signing in. The place where we talk about body language, human dynamics, relationships, game, everything in between. Two links in the description of this video. First link will take you to the catalogue of body language. It's a YouTube playlist I've composed of the A to Z of reading somebody through their own subconscious characteristics and behaviours. You'll be able to read minds. Second to that is the Patreon, as to where you'll join me in watching real life first dates. I'll break down the attraction cues, the repulsion cues, and everything else. You'll internalize that information, you'll see it manifest in your day to day, wherever in the world you are. You'll become a romantic, okay? A very effective one in that. Now, what's the topic of conversation? The topic of conversation today is for you to take one moment out of your day, multiple moments out of your day, multiple moments out of your week, your months, your years, to be conscious and to be present. Generally speaking, we talk about people on this channel, so I will remain in that manner. But I mean, generally speaking, it could be right now, with nobody around, just you, your thoughts, your environment. Pay attention and just be in the present for one moment. We're not thinking about what we should do, where we should be going, what the past has happened, what experiences we've had. We're just now. When you go shopping in the supermarket, be conscious. Say, right, I'm going to walk through that door and I'm going to pay attention to the people around me. I'm going to pay attention to the products, to the colouring on the products. I'm going to pay attention to the music that's being played, or lack thereof. I'm going to pay attention to when this shop opens up and when it closes. I'm going to pay attention to how I'm influenced by the way these products are stacked and placed throughout this supermarket, yeah? And just give yourself that task. Then you'll come out and you'll return back to your normal programming. Or you'll continue on looking at things through your mind's eye as opposed to the blissful tunnel vision of what once was. Look at people and see who they are. Look at what they wear. What are they doing? How do they feel? How does that represent who that person is? Of course, we look at the non-verbal communication. We see how they walk. We see how they scan the room. We see the health of the hair on their head. We see their stature. We see their posture. We see the health that manifests through the top to the bottom of who they are. What are they interested in? Why are they there? What life are they leading? Take a moment to be conscious and see things around you. When you go for assistance and you speak to one of the members of staff, pay attention. Look at how they react. Look at how they pacify themselves as you engage with them, purely because they feel uncomfortable speaking to a stranger, and that's the position as to which their workplace has put them in, and it's the position that workplace has put you in. You're both strangers engaging with each other. So as I say that, have a look at how you are unconsciously and subconsciously reacting in the face of them. When you are facing them, is it fully direct? Is it fully frontal? Is it aggressive indirectly? Or are you bladed a little to the side, looking after that limbo side? Because what you see before you is the potential of a physical threat. You want to cover yourself up. You don't know this person. And if you feel somewhat threatened through the engagement with this stranger, have a look at the stranger and think to yourself, what is it that turns me off of this person? Yeah? If at any point whilst you are walking through that supermarket, and let's switch it up quick, when you are walking through the shopping centre, when you are walking on the streets in the city centre, pay attention to your gut feeling. How do you feel right now? Do you feel buoyant? Are you bouncing off of your feet? Are you in a joyful state of mind? Why is that? Why is that? Have a look around you. Look at the phallic symbols everywhere. Why do men build things are like phallic monuments? that we generally don't pay attention to until we find out what it looks like and we are conscious and we pay attention. And then we see the next man is trying to outdo the next man by building a larger phallic monument, and how that links to the inner psyche and potentially insecurity of that man. Look at the cars people drive. Look at the manufacturers. Look at the logos and the symbolism that is held within the logos of these cars. Look at the title of the car. Why have the manufacturers decided to call that vehicle that name? It's for advertising purposes, marketing purposes. Does it go deeper than that? Is there a message that's needed to be spread? Whilst you're back at the supermarket, look at the energy drinks. Why are the energy drinks called Monster? Why is there an energy drink called Hell? Why are the vapes called Totally Wicked with a symbol of the devil on that? Is that just for display? Is that because they're marketing to rebellious people? Or is there a deeper spiritual meaning and effort that's being put in to promote these dark and satanic messages into the world? Is it deeper than what most people pick up on, or is it just me who's looking into it too deep? When you see the woman on the street brushing her hair with her hands, have a think, why is she doing that, and through which perspective non-verbally is she doing that? Is it through a means of attracting a mate? Is it a preening gesture? Is she creating movement to garner attention? And then you look to the next person, what are they moving? Is there something they need to move to do what they need to do, or are they moving it for the sake of attracting attention to that particular area, that particular aspect? Look at the fakeness of people. Look at the branding that is embellished upon the clothing of these people, and think to yourself, is general society deeming this person a little bit different purely because they have a name written across their chest? What does this person feel about spending £20, £30, 50, 100, 200, 1 grand more on this t-shirt purely down to the sake of them having a name written on there? Is that foolishness, or is perception the most important thing in this game? How are you perceiving other people, and how are they perceiving you, because you are being seen by others too? You're moving, and movement attracts attention. What are you moving? How are you subconsciously behaving? How are you walking? What have you got on your feet? Why have you got that on your feet? Be conscious for a moment. Be conscious. Look at the colours of things. Why have they decided to make them colours? That's an independent store, and they've chosen that colour in comparison to the global Goliath, the multi-corporate, bright, bold, colourful display of the next place and the next place and the next place. Have a look at the colours, have a look at the marketing, have a look at the advertisement. What does that make sense to you? Because it makes sense to them, and it's been pretty successful as far as expansion is concerned. So why is that? Why is that? Look at the magazines whilst you're in the shops. Look at the advertisements whilst you're on the street. What are they advertising? Wait a minute. There's some political agenda behind that advertisement that shouldn't necessarily be involved with the sale of that particular product. Why is that? Who is behind that? What words are being used? How do you spell them words? What's a spell? A magic spell? How do you spell things? You spell them. The esoteric is all around us. There's hidden meanings behind everything. Be conscious for 1 second and pay attention. What effect does it have on your psyche when you're at the bus station, which is known, for the lower working class to get on the public transport and go and do their deeds? Why do they play slow classical music in there? Is it to influence by any chance? Look at the lighting in places. Bright lights keep you awake, keep you alert. Yeah? Makes sense? What happens when you're in the bright lights? Your pupils constrict. When your pupils are constricted, what's it a bad thing to do? Engage and communicate for the most part, because you just need to go and get the job done. Because if you communicate with someone with what's called snake eyes, Their subconscious is going to pick up on that and feel like you are, if not fearful, but locked on and potentially aggressive towards them, because that's what happens when we get angry, when we get frustrated. Our pupils constrict in order to take in and absorb in, symbolically, less of what we are perceiving in our mind's eye. Everything has a knock on, everything creates a train of thought, and you deep dive into the depths of what is our existence and the very pockets of our own psyche. The limitations of our own perception will be brought forth before us and will give us food for thought. And we can educate ourselves and look in to whatever we find interesting. I just saw that behaviour. I've never seen that behaviour before. Why is that person acted in that manner? What's created that in that person, that human being? We are all but animals and we engage in such manner. Have a look at everybody as they walk by, as they engage in conversation with each other, as they communicate, and look at them as animals. Look at us as a zoo, the human zoo. Isn't it weird and wacky and surreal and fantastic? Take one moment today to be conscious momentarily. And your brain will want to shut it off soon and you'll go back into your trance-like state as you are put into that state by the world we live, through the problems of the past, the problems of tomorrow. Doesn't really matter that much. But we perceive them as scary as a cat, a big cat. In the Serengeti, our brain's like, whoa, threatening. We need to be fixated for the sake of survival. Take one moment to brush them feelings off momentarily and be conscious and think. On that note, I'm signing out. That was some game. Click like and subscribe. Peace.